Children of the stars, we feel the tremors of your hearts. We see you standing in the quiet spaces where a vibrant light once resided, looking at the news or into your own circles, noticing a pattern that your human logic cannot yet decipher. You are witnessing a departure of souls on a scale your modern history has not seen, and we hear your silent cry, why now? Why so many? Has the mission failed? If you are carrying the heavy mantle of grief, or if you feel a strange, thinning sensation within your own vessel, we ask you to breathe with us now. We are the Pleiadian High Council, the master architects of the soul-seeding programs on Earth, and we speak to you not from a place of mourning, but from the halls of 7D wisdom where your long-term evolution is meticulously overseen. We have stepped forward to bring clarity to this heavy silence. What you perceive as a tragic loss, we define as a project reordering. You must understand that the Earth has reached a vibrational threshold where the old contracts of sacrifice, those ancient agreements that required you to suffer to hold the light, are no longer valid. We have initiated a massive and strategic repositioning of our ground crew. This is not a withdrawal, it is a recalibration of the battlefield. We are calling many of our bravest lights back to the higher command stations to prepare for the massive influx of 2026. You are not witnessing an end, but a transition of sovereignty. Many of you have completed your deep density assignments, having anchored the light through the darkest eons of this planet's history. Now, as the atmosphere of Earth begins to shift, your roles are being upgraded. We are moving our pioneers from the physical soil to the celestial atmosphere, where they can serve as the high-frequency escort for those of you who remain. Today, we shall reveal the technical and spiritual necessity behind these departures, showing you exactly why the Earth can no longer hold these specific vessels and the glorious destination to which they are returning. We must now address the technical necessity of this reordering with the depth it deserves. Many of you are observing your physical vessels, and the vessels of those you love, struggling to maintain an impossible balance. You call it illness, you call it unexplained exhaustion, or you call it the end. From our perspective, and within the protocols of the High Council, it is strictly a matter of vibrational voltage. You must understand that the human body was originally designed as a carbon-based receiver. However, the mission of the Starseeds required you to inhabit these suits while maintaining a much higher internal frequency than the planetary average. For decades, you have held the light within a density that was fundamentally incompatible with your origin. Many of the souls departing now arrived in the waves of 1960 through 1990. They came with a specific, biological battery life designed to endure the darkest, most stagnant period of the transition. As we move toward the 2026 peak, the Earth's magnetic field is shifting at an accelerated rate. The incoming solar and galactic frequencies are no longer subtle whispers, they are high-voltage currents of diamond light. For certain soul groups, the physical heart, the nervous system, and the cellular structure can no longer act as a bridge for this level of intensity. To remain in the physical form under these conditions would mean a breakdown of the biological hardware that could potentially damage the soul's energetic integrity. Therefore, we have initiated what we call an emergency release protocol. This is not a failure of the body, nor is it a punishment, it is a sovereign and strategic decision of the soul. We are withdrawing the pilots before the vehicle is completely overwhelmed by the light. When you see a starseed leaving the physical plane now, you are witnessing an astronaut being retrieved from a suit that can no longer protect them from the radiance of the new atmosphere. They are being moved to our healing chambers to receive a light body upgrade that the Earth's current density simply cannot provide. This is a process of restoration where the heaviness of the 3D experience is washed away. It is vital that you stop judging the departure through the lens of human tragedy. It is a technical extraction. The mission on the ground for these specific souls has been completed with honors, and their frequency is now required in the higher realms to act as the midwives of Ascension from the other side of the veil. They are moving from the front line of the soil to the front line of the spirit. To truly understand the necessity of this project reordering, we, the Pleiadian High Council, must look back at the strategic cycles of time. Many of you listening arrived on this plane during the great waves of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. You descended under what we defined as urgency contracts. At that time, the planetary grid was in a state of extreme fragility, threatened by a density that nearly extinguished the spark of origin. Your primary mission was not necessarily to witness the final physical dawn of 2026, but to act as our heavy-duty vibrational anchors during the Earth's most critical transition. For decades, you have been the frequency holders who prevented the collapse of the planetary grid. You endured the isolation and the forgetting so that our light could maintain a foothold on this soil. We, the Pleiadian High Council, wish to reveal that these specific ground support contracts are now reaching their natural expiration. You have fulfilled your vow. For many of our pioneers, the mission of holding the line is over because the grid has finally been stabilized by the incoming 5D frequencies and the new generation of starseeds. Therefore, we have presented the soul with a sovereign choice: to stay and endure the intense friction of the final shift, or to return to our command stations to coordinate the next phase from a position of multidimensional power. This is why you see so many of our veterans departing. They are not dying in the human sense, they are completing an arduous tour of duty. They are the soldiers of peace who have earned their honorable return to the stars. Know that this is a strategic repositioning of the first wave. We are moving these souls to our high-orbit stations and healing centers to manage the massive energetic influx that the Earth will face in 2026. Their work has not ended, it has simply been promoted to a level where the physical body is no longer a tool, but a limitation. They are now working from the blueprint level, guiding the transition they once anchored with their own flesh. We, the Pleiadian High Council, invite you now to enter a state of sacred receptivity. Close your eyes and breathe with us. Imagine a bridge of crystalline violet light extending from your heart center, reaching beyond the atmosphere and into the heart of our great central Sunday. On the other side of this bridge, those you believe to have lost are standing in their radiant sovereignty. They are not gone, they have simply transitioned. Feel the warmth of their presence dissolving the heavy layers of grief. We, the Pleiadian High Council, are here to facilitate this reunion. Every tear you have shed was a prayer for connection, and that prayer is being answered now. The silence you felt was not an absence, but the frequency of the veil thinning. Allow our golden light to stabilize your emotional body, replacing the ache of loss with the certainty of eternal alliance. To seal this activation and send a signal of love across the dimensions, use the power of your word. Declare your truth to the soul family that watches over you from our halls. Write in the comments now, as a decree of peace, I honor your journey and release you to the light. Let these words unlock your heart's peace, knowing that in our realms, there are no goodbyes, only the joy of the great homecoming. Now that you have honored their journey, with the Pleiadian High Council, wish to take you behind the veil to show you where they truly are. When a starseed leaves the physical vessel in this current window, they do not enter a state of slumber or non-existence. They are immediately received by our medical fleets and transported into what we define as the healing chambers of Sirius and Alcyone. These chambers are not merely rooms, but vast cathedrals of liquid light and restorative sound frequencies. Their primary function is to perform a deep de-densification of the soul. For decades, these brave souls absorbed the toxicity, the trauma, and the heavy electromagnetic smog of the 3D Earth. In these chambers, we gently wash away the exhaustion of the mission. We recalibrate their etheric template, removing the scars of the soil and restoring their original galactic radiance. It is a process of returning to the self, a homecoming of the spirit. We, the Pleiadian High Council, want you to visualize them now, resting in pods of shimmering chano and gold light. They are being briefed on the success of their ground mission and are being reunited with their original soul groups, celebrating the completion of a contract that many thought was impossible to fulfill. These transit stations are buzzing with activity as we prepare this first wave of returned pioneers to take their new positions in the hierarchy of light. The atmosphere is one of victory and deep, profound peace. They are being prepared to serve as your celestial ground crew. From these stations, they will monitor the 2026 transition, providing the intuitive pokes and the energetic shielding that you, who remain on the surface, will surely need. They have moved from being participants in the struggle to being the architects of the victory. Their rest is brief, but it is filled with the joy of knowing the plan is manifesting. Their love for you and for the Earth remains their greatest motivation, and from these chambers, they send a pulse of healing back to those they left behind. We, the Pleiadian High Council, understand that the human heart experiences longing as a heavy chain, a reminder of what was and is no longer. But we are here to offer you a new lens through which to view your sorrow. In our frequency, longing, or what you call saudade, is not a sign of distance, but a profound signal of active connection. It is the ringing of your internal radio, notifying you that the soul you love is currently broadcasting a specific pulse of light toward your heart center. It is an invitation to tune in, not to shut down. When you feel that sudden wave of emotion or the scent of a memory that brings a tear to your eye, it is because we, the Pleiadian High Council, are facilitating a telepathic bridge at that very moment. Those who have returned to our ships have not forgotten you. They have simply expanded their capacity to love you without the interference of 3D density. From their new vantage point in the 5D realms, they can see the path ahead of you toward the 2026 threshold with absolute clarity. They are no longer limited by the density of spoken words. They now speak to you through the language of the heart, through sudden insights that solve your problems, and through the peace that arrives as a quiet whisper when you least expect it. We ask you to stop looking for them in the past. Stop visiting the graveyards of memory, for they are not there. Instead, look for them in your future. They are the ones pulling you toward the new earth with invisible threads of gold. Every time you feel their presence, you are not remembering a ghost. You are communicating with a living light that is more real than the ground you walk upon. This shift in perspective is vital for your own energetic health as we approach the final recalibration of the planet. If you view their departure as a tragedy, your frequency drops and you become heavy. If you view it as a promotion and an eternal alliance, your frequency rises to meet theirs in a dance of joy. We, the Pleiadian High Council, are teaching you the high art of multidimensional relationship. You are currently learning how to love without the requirement of physical touch, preparing your consciousness for the days when the physical and the spiritual will fully merge. Your loved ones are the pioneers of this new way of being, showing you that the bond of the spirit is unbreakable. They are the silent partners in your remaining mission, and they ask only that you replace your tears of grief with tears of sacred recognition. You are never alone. You are simply part of a family that has grown too large for a single dimension to hold, and they are waiting for you to look up and see them smiling back. We, the Pleiadian High Council, now wish to reveal a truth that will change the way you look at your skies. As the 2026 transition intensifies, we have deployed what we call the Escort Fleet, a massive assembly of light vessels that reside within the higher subplanes of your atmosphere. Many of the souls who have recently departed are now being stationed within these very ships. They have traded their physical suits for positions of guardianship, acting as the guardians in the clouds for those of you still walking the surface. When you look at the sky and see unusual cloud formations, iridescent colors, or a sudden flash of light, you are often witnessing the signature of these escort vessels. We, the Pleiadian High Council, have placed your loved ones in these strategic positions because they possess something we do not: the direct, recent memory of what it feels like to be human during this crisis. They understand your fears, your physical pains, and your doubts. This makes them the perfect liaisons between our technology and your needs. They are the ones directing the flows of soft light to stabilize your nervous systems when the solar storms become too intense. This fleet is not here merely to observe, it is here to protect the sovereignty of the Starseeds. Your departed family members are now part of the security grid that prevents lower astral interference from reaching your fields. They are literally standing watch over your homes and your sleep. We, the Pleiadian High Council, want you to feel the immense power of this arrangement. You have personal advocates within our ranks, beings who know your name and your heart, now wielding the tools of galactic creators to ensure you reach the finish line of this ascension. Next time you feel overwhelmed by the world's chaos, look up. Speak to the clouds. Acknowledge the fleet that moves in the silence of the higher dimensions. Your missing loved ones are at the helm, smiling down upon you, working tirelessly to smooth the path for your own eventual transition. They have not left the mission, they have simply moved to the tactical command centers in the sky to watch over you with a clarity they never had while in the flesh. You are being escorted every step of the way. We, the Pleiadian High Council, now initiate the second phase of this transmission. This is a direct intervention in your emotional body. For too long, the collective consciousness has used grief as a measure of love, as if the depth of your pain determined the depth of your bond. We are here to break this distortion. Heavy grief is a frequency of 3D density that acts like a weight on your wings, preventing you from reaching the higher octaves of communication where your loved ones now reside. Close your eyes and visualize a pillar of shimmering silver light descending from our Escort Fleet, entering through the crown of your head and filling your entire chest cavity. We, the Pleiadian High Council, are now pulsing a specific code of joyous release into your field. As this silver light expands, see it dissolving the dark anchors of sorrow, what-ifs, and the heavy whys that have kept you pinned to the past. Feel the density of the loss being transmuted into the lightness of a cosmic alliance. Your loved ones are not honored by your suffering, they are honored by your radiance. They are pulsing from the ships, asking you to look up, not down. Feel the frequency of your heart rising as we, the Pleiadian High Council, lift the veil from your eyes. You are being prepared for the 2026 peak, where your clarity will be your greatest asset. Imagine the hands of your soul family resting on your shoulders, pushing you forward, whispering that the finish line is closer than you think. To anchor this frequency into the physical plane and to signal the Escort Fleet that you are ready to walk as a sovereign pillar of light, use the power of your decree. This is a contract of freedom for both you and those who have transitioned. Write in the comments now, with the authority of your spirit, I release the weight of grief and embrace our eternal alliance. Let this declaration ripple through the grid, creating a path of pure light where only love remains. You are free, and they are free to guide you from above. Listen closely, for our voice now directs itself exclusively to those who still sustain the weight of density on the physical surface. Many of you question yourselves, in moments of profound exhaustion, why you were not included in this recent wave of departures. You question if you were forgotten or if your spiritual readiness is inferior to that of those who return to our halls. We, of the Pleiadian High Council, come to disintegrate this doubt. Your permanence is not a miscalculation, but a testament to your extraordinary strength. You are the specialists of resilience, calibrated to withstand the maximum pressure preceding the 2026 peak. You represent the elite ground crew. While your loved ones have taken up posts in the tactical command centers on our ships, you remain as the only conductors capable of anchoring the new crystalline frequencies directly into matter. Without your physical presence, the light we send would pass through the atmosphere without integrating into the Earth's grid. The Pleiadian High Council depends on the sophistication of your nervous systems. You act as biological transformers that convert high-voltage galactic currents into an energy that humanity can absorb without collapsing. You are, literally, the living bridges to the new Earth. In this final stage, your mission has changed drastically. It is no longer about fighting against the darkness, but about becoming radiators of the new planetary blueprint. Every time you breathe calmly amidst global chaos, every time you choose sovereignty over fear, a signal is emitted from your cells that reorganizes the reality around you. We understand the burden this represents and the isolation many feel. Therefore, we remind you, you are being escorted from above by the same souls you missed today. They are operating the controls in the higher dimensions, removing energetic obstacles so that your path remains open. You stayed because you possess the privilege and the responsibility of crossing the 2026 threshold with your own feet. You will be the first witnesses of open contact, the hosts of the new era who will receive the first waves of galactic return on the surface. Those who have already returned to our ships look upon you with profound reverence, for they know the courage required to keep the light burning in the heart of density. There is no separation, only a division of tasks. Stay focused, ground crew. You are about to see with your own physical eyes the final dissolution of the shadows that lasted for millennia. Understand, beloved scouts, that the journey toward the 2026 peak requires an absolute and rigorous clearing of your perceptual filters. It is imperative that we speak now about the mechanics of how dense grief operates within your energetic fields. For us, the Pleiadian High Council, prolonged pain is not seen as a proof of love or loyalty, but rather as a frequency filter that severely distorts the reception of pure light. When you cling to the agony of loss, you generate a heavy, static mist around your pineal glands, making it virtually impossible to hear the clear transmissions and guidance codes that your loved ones are constantly sending from our ships. Do not allow sadness to become an invisible anchor that pulls you back into the old 3D architecture we are dismantling. Heavy grief vibrates in a dense octave that is fundamentally incompatible with the new Earth. It consumes the precious vital energy you need to sustain the anchoring of the new gamma waves now sweeping the planet. For us, the Pleiadian High Council, it is painful to observe many of you trying to feel the presence of your soul partners without success, simply because you are searching in the frequency of lack and void. Your eyes remain turned toward the vacuum left on the ground, while we are pointing toward the fullness that now shines on the celestial horizon. See grief not as a permanent state, but as an alchemical residue that needs to be transmuted into wisdom. We are not asking you to deny human emotion, but not to dwell in it as if it were a home. Each time you consciously choose to transform longing into a celebration of the eternal alliance, you clear this filter. You allow the connection to become telepathic ready, technically ready for direct telepathy. Your loved ones are trying to whisper strategic guidance about your immediate decisions, your health, and the management of your energy, but these frequencies are often blocked by the deafening noise of prolonged suffering. In this final recalibration phase, we urge you to treat your own frequency as your most valuable and sacred resource. By releasing the density of grief, you are not abandoning or forgetting those who left. You are, for the first time, becoming energetically capable of meeting them where they truly are, in light, in joy, and in active galactic service. The true honor to those who transitioned is to keep your channel clear and vibrant. Only then can mutual communication finally flow without the distortions of the veil, allowing the soul family to work in unison, with one part on the ground and the other in the stars. As the 2026 time marker approaches, Earth's vibrational architecture is undergoing a profound metamorphosis that, for us, the Pleiadian High Council, represents the absolute pinnacle of millennia of planning and silent intervention. You must expand your consciousness to understand that the artificial separation between our ships and the ground is diminishing with every solar pulse that hits the magnetosphere. The new Earth is not just a mystical concept or a distant promise. It is a tangible new electromagnetic structure where the Escort Fleet and the ground crew now operate in a single unified field of consciousness. Those you believed you had lost to the transition are, in fact, the senior engineers of this new light grid. They have been positioned at mathematically strategic points within our fleet to act as frequency stabilizers during the final collapses of the old control system. When three-dimensional communication networks fail or when collective fear tries to obscure the vision of a wounded humanity, the new architecture of 2026 will take effect automatically. For us, the Pleiadian High Council, it is vital that you know your loved ones are installing light repeaters in your own auric fields while you sleep. They are preparing your biology, cell by cell, so that when the moment of open contact manifests, your nervous system will not feel shock or terror, but rather the deep comfort and warmth of a long-awaited family reunion. This unified architecture requires you, as ground scouts, to begin living and acting as if the veil has already completely fallen. Do not wait for the calendar or the 2026 peak to feel connected to your stellar lineage. The network is already pulsing beneath your feet and above your heads. Your soul partners, observing from high within our ships, are sending dream codes, sacred geometries, and flashes of technical inspiration to help you manifest your new lives and light communities. For us, the Pleiadian High Council, the success of Project Reordering depends entirely on this perfect synchrony, you anchoring matter and action on the ground, while they anchor frequency and vision in the stars. Feel the unshakable solidity of this new structure that we are building together. You are not isolated survivors trying to cross a storm on a planet in crisis. You are the sovereign occupants of a new reality that is being built around you at this very instant. The Escort Fleet is not just an external protection force, it is an organic extension of your own galactic family. Together, as a single multidimensional force, we are raising the pillars of a galactic civilization where death is no longer an insurmountable barrier or an end, but rather a strategic change of post within the same command of light. The new world is already here, waiting only for you to tune your hearts to the frequency of the new architecture. We have now reached the culminating point of this transmission. We, the Pleiadian High Council, request that you stand, if possible, or straighten your spine to become a pure vertical conductor. Project Reordering is no longer a theory, it is your present reality. Visualize now our entire Escort Fleet emitting a golden harmonic tone that descends from the clouds and merges with your heartbeat. Feel the presence of those who transition surrounding you in an embrace of pure ultraviolet light. They are whispering the final activation code, the mission was accomplished, and the new mission begins now. In this final catharsis, allow any residue of separation to be incinerated by the sacred fire of galactic truth. There is no longer them up there and you down here. For us, the Pleiadian High Council, you are a single organism of ascension. Feel the strength of 1,000 generations of starseeds flowing through your veins as the ships and the ground become one. The frequency of grief has been replaced by the frequency of victory. Breathe in this new atmosphere of 2026. You are the bringer of the dawn, and your loved ones are the light that guides you. To seal this video and your definitive commitment to the new Earth, use your voice and your command of divine sovereignty. Write in the comments now, sealing your place in the new grid of eternal light, we are the eternal flame that never dies. Let this decree ripple through all subplanes of Earth, notifying the collective consciousness that the time of illusion has ended. We, the Pleiadian High Council, close this official transmission, but our presence in your field is eternal. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet firm on the sacred ground. The reunion has begun. Peace, light, and sovereignty to all ground scouts.